One of the absolute truths about a home bar is this. It's that ice matters more than almost anything else. And you can have good bottles, solid glassware, but if the ice is wrong, the drink never really settles in. And for a long time, Pebble ice was something that you really only got if you left the house. And that's changed over the past few years. This is the ecozy Smart Ice Lumix Panel Nugget Ice Maker. It's a mouthful. And well, honestly, my wife has been using it almost nonstop for the past few weeks. I actually had to commandeer it from our kitchen, where my wife has pretty much made it hers. So starting with the display, it's clean, it's bright, it's easy to read. The icons are easy to tell exactly what they are used for, unlike others that are just undiscernible little amber lights. And you can see the water temperature, the water quality, and the machine status all at a glance from across the room. And it's one of those things that sounds small really until you get used to it. And then you don't want to go back to guessing what an appliance is actually doing. It also actually looks pretty good sitting out behind the bar on the counter like my wife, or wherever it lands. It doesn't feel like something you need to hide. And what I appreciate most though is how practical this smart part actually is. You can control everything from the panel, but you can also use the ecozy Home app or voice control with Alexa or Google Assistant. And that means you can start the ice before you get home. You can schedule batches overnight or ask for ice hands-free while you're already in the middle of making drinks. And the machine also checks water quality using a built-in TDS reader, which is honestly pretty cool. Even though I only use distilled water, I know others will use water of varying quality. And for those, this is an absolutely awesome feature. And ecozy does recommend purified water under 200 TDS, and this unit lets you know when it's time to refresh that water. And cleaner water keeps the machine cleaner, quieter, and prevents buildup and gives you better ice in the long run. And that's advice for not only this ice maker, but every single ice maker that's on the market. And the pull-out water tank makes refills and cleaning super simple. You don't have to wrestle the machine or spill water across the counter. And speaking of holding ice, the double layer insulation does real work. The ice stays colder longer with less melting, which matters when you're making drinks over a few hours. And for my own experience, we have the ice maker set to run from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And when I wake up at 6 in the morning before work, the ice basket's still roughly about a third full with ice. And the built-in LED basket light really makes it easy to check ice levels without opening everything up or turning on more lights. And for capacity, this thing does keep up. It can produce up to 44 pounds of ice a day, which is more than enough for home use, small family gatherings, or just having a few people over. And from full off to on, it can start dropping ice in just a few minutes, which is much faster than even my much more expensive ice maker behind my bar. And so to put the ecozy ice maker to the test, I'll be making the Scorpion Reef. It comes to us from Marshall Davis at the unfortunately now closed Gallo Pelon Mezcaleria in Raleigh, North Carolina. So let's test out this ice and make the Scorpion Reef. We will start with 1/2 of an ounce of orgeat, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, 1 ounce of pineapple juice, 1 ounce of an aged Jamaican rum, 1 ounce of mezcal, 8 dashes of chocolate bitters, and fill the glass about half full with ice, and swizzle for about 20 seconds. Fill the rest of the way with ice, and top with 5 dashes of Angostura bitters, and a dusting of 5 Chinese spices. And with that, the Scorpion Reef comes together. So for the drink itself, it's actually a really good drink. Now, I've stated on this channel over the past 6 or 8 months that mezcal is quickly rising up the ranks of one of my favorite spirits. Obviously, rum in the 9,000 variants of rum will always be number one, but mezcal is really quickly gaining on it. And it's funny because I hate tequila, or at least I thought I hated tequila when I was younger. And now that I've kind of grown a little bit in what I drink, a lot of versions of mezcal are really starting to become extremely popular for me in my household. Not so much for my wife because she's pregnant, but even then, if she wasn't, she probably wouldn't care for it that much. But the Scorpion Reef is an absolutely fantastic drink. Give this drink a try. Let me know what you thought of it. And so back to the ecozy ice maker. So they sent this to me a few weeks ago. So thank you, ecozy, for sending this to me. There will be a unique discount code in the description below, so head out and grab it. But I'm going to talk about it for just a little bit. So we got it. We unboxed it. My wife was like, "What are we going to do with this?" And I was like, obviously I got to make an episode on it. That was part of our deal, right? But my wife's become a convert to Pebble ice. So I've had the Opal behind me for, I've had it for 3 years now, 4 years. I forget, time flies. But I brought it home, started using it, and then now my wife is a Pebble ice convert. We have an ice maker on our fridge, but almost never gets used because she'll just walk across the kitchen, across our dining room, over to the bar and fill up her glass with Pebble ice. And so we got this and I started using it, and all of a sudden it ended up on our kitchen cabinet, and my wife has been using it literally nonstop since it ended up there a few weeks ago. And so my review on it, my honest review, is it is absolutely, it's fantastic. It is actually really good, and it's much cheaper than the Opal. And it is true that I wake up in the morning and we keep the light on, and I come down and I still see it's like a third full after, you know, what is that, 8 or 9 hours of not running. It's so cool, and the app is easy to use. Getting it connected to one of your home assistants is easy as well. Overall, it's just a really, really good ice maker for, you know, half the cost of the GE Opal. Now, I'm not going to get rid of the Opal. I still like the Opal a lot, but the ecozy one, for what it is and for the cost, is so good. And I know there's other Pebble ice makers on the market. I've used a few of them. I had a Frigidaire that broke not too long after I got it, and just out of warranty, because that's how it works, right? But obviously it's only been a few weeks, so I can't attest to the longevity of the ecozy Pebble ice maker. But if it lasts as long as it does when it, if it lasts as long, if it's as good with longevity as it is with making Pebble ice, it's going to be sitting on our kitchen counter for a long time. So definitely, you know, take this to heart. I'm not being super biased or overly positive because they sent this to me. It's an awesome ice maker. It truly is. You have my word on that. So yeah, like I said, discount code in the description below. Check it out. Let me know what you thought of this drink. And yeah, that all being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, ecozy. Akoli Maluna. Cheers and enjoy.